Hello, welcome back, folks. My name is Daniel Corona. As you guys know, our show today is Heart of Hearts. Here today, we are discussing the wonderful book Presenting to Win here by Jerry Wiseman. Just going over the author, Jerry himself. I've had the privilege of being part of some of his seminars and, of course, reading a lot of his different books that he has available. I kind of want to go over the different presentations, different strategies that he's had to motivate and also to have better communication. That's at the end of the day what business is about, right? So getting right into it, as you guys know, my name is Daniel. I'm 22 years old. Here in the city of Riverside, guys, I have a show, Heart of Hearts. So let's get straight into it. All right, guys. As I mentioned, we're gonna go over a little bit about Jerry Wiseman, his background, his fortes, his strengths. As you guys know, before hosting the show Heart of Hearts, I was an executive at Altura Credit Union. And yearly, they would send us to seminars, and we had the privilege of hearing a little bit from Jerry Wiseman. I think it was very impactful, the fact that he engages with the audience, asks us questions. I had the privilege of going on the stage, and he interviewed me. And although, I messed up a lot, he taught me a lot of things. One thing that I learned is how to communicate. Sometimes, as higher executives in the company, we think that communication isn't as essential as it really should be. And being a part of that seminar was motivational and very encouraging at that as well. Apart from being a great motivator, and obviously, talking today about Presenting to Win, one of Jerry Wiseman's books, I think it's phenomenal the way that he incorporated and kind of really taught us. He is a communications coach. So I think the book really grasped that, and it guided us for effective presentational skills, offering techniques and strategies to captivate audiences, structure compelling narratives, and deliver impactful presentations. Something that, as executives and even as regular employees, is always essential. So Wiseman draws upon his vast experience coaching executives and professionals to provide practical insights into creating and delivering memorable presentations that resonate with listeners and achieve desired outcomes. I think it's very encouraging that Wiseman is actually recognized for his practical approach to presentations, emphasizing storytelling. So when Jerry Wiseman talks to you, one, like I had mentioned, he really incorporates and brings the audience to life. He talks to them. He doesn't just talk, he gets the input on the audience. He asks questions. He involves you. And his storytelling really wants you to be better, wants you to communicate better, and wants you to learn how to communicate better, right? So throughout the book, we're going to go ahead and talk about Presenting to Win and the key points that I've learned while reading this book. And going into the description of this wonderful book, Presenting to Win, I think some of the important topics that we could go over, I've broken them down, starting off with storytelling emphasis. I think in the book, it focuses on the power of storytelling in presentations. So that includes when Wiseman illustrates how crafting a narrative and incorporating storytelling techniques can significantly enhance the impact and effectiveness of a presentation. And I think that's really important because sometimes we do a presentation, whether it be with PowerPoint or just simply giving facts, giving a presentation off your memory or anything like that. Storytelling really incorporates life into the information you're going ahead and you're going to give to your team. And that's something that I learned in this text. And during the reading the book, I think emphasizing the storytelling when giving presentations, one, like I had mentioned, gives life to the story. But another important factor is it involves the audience or the employees, which is another one of his strengths. Another specific detail that I really enjoyed about this book is the real life examples. I think when we hear about examples, it motivates us when we see, okay, this person put this communication suggestions into practice and look where he's at. I think during the length of the book, Wiseman really provided numerous real-life examples and case studies from his experiences on coaching high-profile executives. These examples obviously will offer a practical insight for us as readers and actionable strategies for us as readers to apply to our own presentations. It's something that if you read this book, you bring this to your work, your place of work before doing a presentation, look over it and we see real-life examples. It really motivates us as the employees who are doing the presentation to put it in practice, because we've seen it's been done before. Real life examples, as we all know, has always been one of the strongest ways for someone as an employee listening to a presentation to put in an example. Many readers through the process from planning and organizing to audience-centric approach. Wiseman emphasizes understanding of the audience, tailoring presentations to meet their... Okay. Another thing I really enjoyed about the book, another detail, is structure and framework. So the book itself presents a structured framework for creating and delivering presentations. So it guides us as the readers through the process from planning and organizing content to delivering it in a corporate manner. And that's important. That leads on to my next example and my next point, which is audience-centric approach. I think in the book, it was very obvious that he used a audience-centric approach because Wiseman emphasizes the understanding of tailoring your presentation to the audience. For example, if I'm giving a presentation on finance, on sales, am I going to give that same presentation, that same emphasis and motivational presentation to someone in HR or maybe in collections? Maybe not. So I think it's really important to tailor your presentation to the audience. You want them to be engaged. You want them to be excited for the information. And I think that's a really important point that I learned in that book, to really tailor your presentations to those of the audience, because at the end of the day, they're going to benefit from it and we're going to benefit from them learning from our presentation, right? Going on to my next point was focus on precision. The book delves into the art of persuasion, offering techniques to influence and persuade audiences through compelling storytelling. Like I mentioned, Wiseman has a very strong way of working his storytelling abilities into his presentations and even to his seminars and so on and so forth. And I think he really gave us examples on how we could incorporate that. Because at the end of the day, when we deliver our presentation with persuasion, we're selling. At the end of the day, we're selling an idea. We're selling the idea of our information to the audience. And so if we're persuading that idea onto them, at the end of the day, it's going to be very beneficial for us as the one presenting, and as well, as mentioned before, for the employees. Moving along to my fifth and final point from the information here on the book, Presenting to Win, I really noticed, and another point that called my attention was the comprehensive guidance. So it covers various aspects of presentations, including slide design, handling tough questions, managing nerves, and delivering memorable presentations. I think we could go on one by one on these 4 aspects. So when we handle tough questions, as we know, Wiseman incorporates the audience into his presentations. What does that mean? Questions. What happens when we don't know the answer to a question? Sometimes our response says a lot. If they ask a question and they ask me, Daniel, what is the financial standpoint of Altura? How do they stand? What is the audience gonna think? It automatically could lower the respect for me, the lack of accountability that I hold as someone holding the presentation. And at the end of the day, maybe they won't trust the information I'm giving on. So I think managing tough questions, even when you don't know the answer, is something essential in presenting information. For example, if they ask a question, appreciate their question. Thank you so much for asking that question. That is a great question. Maybe thank them and appreciate the time they've taken to ask that question. At the end of the day, the way we handle tough questions says a lot about us and also for all the information that we handle. It's very essential that we don't get stuck if we don't know the information. I don't know. No, it gives us the opportunity to explain the information in a reasonable way and handle tough questions, which is something that I personally am going to apply in the near future. Another point was managing nerves. Who doesn't get nervous? Here on the Heart of Hearts, I've been doing this show for now 3 years. Every single time I come and I get nervous. I have to do take and take and take again. I have to look at my script over and over. Why? Because who doesn't get nervous? Especially presenting in front of hundreds of people in the company with, you think, your reputation on the line. Am I going to mess up? Am I going to make a fool of myself? Am I going to fall on stage? A lot of things come into presenting, and I think handling nerves gives you opportunity to present calm, cool, and collected, and at the end of the day will allow you to provide the information in a smooth manner that could be transmitted to the audience in an effective way. And lastly, delivering memorable presentations. How many times has someone told you a story that they've heard from somebody else. Man, you're at a Christmas party, with your family, you're with your friends. Hey, let me tell you this example that I heard the other day. Or when you're at church and they say, let me give you an example of this beautiful example that they gave to help me understand the importance of reading the Bible, so on and so forth. Same thing with presentations. We want to leave a mark in each and every one of the person in the audience. Is why if we leave an impactful and memorable presentation, this is going to stick with them. And why is it important that this information sticks with them? Well, it's been brought up in the text, and obviously common sense, they're going to tell other people. They're going to want to apply it. If they have a memorable presentation in mind, they're going to want to apply what they learned. They're going to want to grow on it. They're going to want to share with their neighbors, their friends, their family. And at the end of the day, it says a lot about us as speakers. Because if someone were to ask you, how is Wiseman's presentation ability? Man, memorable. That's how we want to be. We want to make memorable presentations. And overall, in the book Presenting to Win, it's revered for its practicality, right? Everything we learn today, we put it in practice right away. It's very practical, and it offers a comprehensive toolkit to help professionals deliver impactful presentations, right? And that renovates for the audience to achieve their objectives. At the end of the day, the purpose of a presentation is for the audience benefit. Just like when I do my shows for the benefit of you guys, and I definitely appreciate you guys sticking here on along on another Saturday night on Hearts of Heart. I appreciate you guys so much, and I definitely do encourage you guys to read our book here, Presenting to Win by Jerry Wiseman. Again, guys, this is a phenomenal book. It's gonna really help you incorporate presenting and make it an art, make it fun. So again, guys, this is Daniel Corona clocking out. Have a great day.